it's only a matter of time before it starts rolling out. Hey,
Yeah. So we can't wait to do that episode, man. I'm excited and now starting to feel a bit more prepared because I've been really sinking some time into it. But I guess while we're on the subject of Trump, let's sink into the big news from today that I sent you before. Did you get a chance to watch that video?
I did. That is absolutely wild. It is so good seeing the mainstream media getting. Well, I know it was Fox News and Hannity who was like the host of like the rebuttal almost with kind of like helping out Veritas.
Yeah.
But it's super nice just to see CNN just getting irrefutably fucked in the ass.
Yeah.
Like it is just so good.
So we've talked about them before, but if this is your first episode because you're like, wow, well, these guys have got video now we're going to listen. First of all, it's your boy J-Man and Ty's coming at you for Wormholes. If this is your first time, welcome.
Yeah, if this is your first time, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, eh?
Now, Project Veritas is a undercover investigative journalism team. It's headed by a man called James O'Keefe. He's been around for many years doing this kind of work. He's broken some massive things about left-leaning, especially left-leaning bias and propaganda and whatever through Twitter and their algorithms, through Facebook and their algorithms. He's exposed voting fraud stuff. He's been massive in basically exposing corruption in these kind of areas. And the thing that's released today is that there is a technical director from CNN. And actually, let me see if because the start of the video, I'll set the scene and then I'll play the start of the video where they play the best clips, and I'll put it to the microphone because it is.
We might even be able to. I might even be able to like when I go back superimpose the video over the top. So play the audio now.
Yeah, and then you might be able.
And
to,
then I'll be able. We'll cut into it. We'll cut into it so you can see.
So basically, this latest clip is that someone who has gone undercover, which is what a lot of them do, is talking to this technical director. So not some pleb, not some fucking light holder in CNN, like an actual technical director who's basically admitting that the CNN's plan over the last however long has been to get Trump out of office. And that's what they were doing relentlessly, that they even made Biden look like a young man, like, putting up videos of Biden jogging, or him wearing his aviator glasses. Like everything was about shining up that image of him, but then diminishing the image of Trump. And, it even when I play it in a second, it's like, Trump had a video where his hands were shaking slightly. So we had all these medical experts in air quotations come in and like say, oh, he's not fit, like that, blatant propaganda. And the reason why this is so important is that some of you are probably thinking, oh, well, we know that they kind of do this shit, but it's like, think about, which I believe tomorrow's, there's going to be a part 2 to this, what we're about to show you. And apparently it's more about COVID. But think about what this means in terms of seeing something so blatant, someone that works in the company, that's high up in the company, admitting that this is what they do. Nothing is off limits. That means that they are literally willing to do this for anything. And they say later in the video, which I won't be able to show that part of it, but they say that obviously their next thing is climate change. They're going back to climate change. And if you have listened to Wormholes, we've talked about there being a set narrative in this kind of shit for so long. We've talked about that it used to be terrorism, right? And then it's gun control, and then it's climate change, and then it's been COVID. That has been what we have seen over the last 2 decades of a news cycle, with a massive chunk of it being terrorism after 9/11. Yeah. They literally plan this shit. And this guy has admitted
100%.
that the next thing is climate change. And he's like, it's a good thing because, that's something we can milk for a long time. He says milk. Yeah. He says fucking milk. Like he doesn't say...
What's your opinion on Greta Thunberg? Do you think she is a handled puppet that is just totally manufactured and
just a plan for sure? They just wanted a young, like, oh look, kids are getting involved with. And again, like with some of the outrageous, I don't know enough about fucking climate science or whatever to really give you a solid opinion about climate change. I know enough about when the media focuses on something and they give you a story about what it is, there's usually fuckery, right? So like what we've talked about with COVID, like what they've said about fucking Trump for years. Whatever it is that they're telling you is a concern or not a concern, it's normally the fucking opposite of that.
It's literally
right?
you do a 180 and you're probably going to find the truth.
And look, and that's, again, I don't deny that we're probably doing damage to the earth, but again, they would want us focusing on the wrong things because they'd want to hide the people that are making fucking money. Let's say coal is the most disastrous thing, but like they're going to focus on this other shit and not that because the people that are backing their fucking...
But they make carbon dioxide the bad guy, right? When you look at methane and stuff like that, and that's the one that's like 6 times more dense than carbon dioxide anyway.
Yeah.
And the biggest producers of methane are like the cows and stuff like that. And supposedly like water's a massive, like the oceans are a massive thing for carbon dioxide as well. So what do you want to do? You want to fucking get rid of the oceans and get rid of cows, do you? Like
and then they're telling you that the water levels are going to fucking rise because of the ice caps melting. And there's just, again, it's just so much fucking smoke and mirror bullshit. But what the end result is taxes on carbon and it's a money thing. Just like it is now with control and security and the ripping away of our freedoms that has come with this COVID stuff and what we've seen from terrorism before. So I'll play the start of this clip because it says, so basically the voice that you're hearing is this man that works for CNN. You'll hear some of the things that he's saying.
I think we got him through this term. We would always show shots of him jogging, him in aviator shades, and like you paint him as a young geriatric. We were creating a story there that we didn't know anything about. So that's I think that's propaganda. Look what we did. We got Trump out. I am 100% going to say it, and I 100% believe it. That if it wasn't for CNN, I don't know that Trump would have gotten voted out. Our focus was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of like fear, like climate?
Yeah, fear sells. Fear sells.
Fear sells, baby.
Fear sells. So obviously it's an undercover camera, and then I'm putting it through the recording. So if you didn't hear that clearly and you wonder what the fuck I'm talking about, go to Project Veritas, look at part 1, CNN director admits network engaged in propaganda to remove Trump. But, again, that last line of fear sells ties directly into what we've been saying. And it's why it has been a relentless, the terrorists are going to fucking get you. The crazy gun people are going to get you. Corona's going to get you. Trump's going to fucking end the world and he's a Nazi and whatever else. And then now it's going to be climate change is going to fucking end the world if we don't do something about it.
Yeah, I'm not sitting here saying that coal and all that kind of shit is good and fracking is good for the earth. I'm not sitting here saying that like that's all good for the earth. But at the same time, that you can see the ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Really.